Breakups are often the symptom of problems in a relationship. My workbook series, The Knowledge, is focused on helping you change your life in 4 key areas: retaining the information that I teach, personal growth, improving your relationships, and of course, re-attracting your ex. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about There is Always Hope. Okay, so I know that day in and day out is a real struggle for you guys that are going through a breakup. It hurts, it's confusing, it's frustrating, you're angry, you're sad, you're upset, and you're just on an emotional roller coaster. But one of the things that hurts the most is the feeling of hopelessness, right? If you feel like your situation has no hope of ever turning around, that's the worst, because then you're just like, why bother? What is the point? You're upset, you're angry, and you give up. And I don't want to see you guys give up, because when you give up on personal growth, you're giving up on yourselves. And that is the worst thing that you could ever do. One of the amazing things about a breakup is the level of motivation that you guys have. I want you to keep personal growth as your priority. That's number one. Because you should always be number one in your life. No matter how much you love another person, you have to be the priority in your life. And, I've said that since day one that I started the channel. Because I know how easy it can be to focus on other people and focus on an ex and that person that you love so much and that you were attached to and you miss them so badly. I get that. It really does suck. And, the reason that I wanted to do this video today is because there is hope. And even when situations look really bad, sometimes they turn around. And today, I've got an email from somebody that's going to share her story on her situation that got turned around. And let me just get to it, because I'm hoping that this will encourage you guys. And this will get you guys to stay motivated, stay strong, and to stay focused on who you want to be, okay? They said, "Dear Coach Craig, my story is not an easy one to share, but I think it needs to be. Even when things go terribly wrong, life has a way of making things right. However, you have to make it happen. Last year was the most difficult year of my life. My boyfriend and I had just gotten our own place when disaster hit. My daughter, who was then 12, started to have major rages and would verbally and at times physically abuse the both of us." Ooh, that would be really intense. A 12-year-old verbally and physically becoming abusive. And I would explore what was going on with her, because I'm sure that just didn't come out of nowhere. At about the same time, money became short and our relationship started to go downhill fast. My daughter was hospitalized twice for severe mental illness, and her father's family called CPS on my boyfriend. I don't know, I guess CPS is Child Protective Services. I'm not sure exactly where she lives, but that would be my guess. But obviously there's a lot going on here that would seriously affect this family. This poor daughter has got some serious mental health issues going on, and she's only 12 years old. At one point, it all became too much and everything imploded at once. It was one argument after another about CPS mixed with frustration and bad input from family that ended the relationship I had worked 1.5 years to build. I knew within 24 hours of the breakup that it was a mistake. It hit me all at once that this person who was my rock, then I had realized was gone. He wanted to work things out, but he had moved out and was living with his mother, who made it clear she did not want him to see me anymore. Also, I believe it was the fear of not knowing what was going on with my daughter that kept him at arm's length. So tons of stressors going on. Mother's saying don't see her anymore. The daughter's got serious mental health issues and is really struggling. Family is giving bad advice. The relationship is falling apart. So look at how bad it is already. He tried to convince me to see him while we saw other people to make sure it was what he wanted, or I was what he wanted. I went along with this for a very short time, but realized in the end it wasn't what I wanted. I would not be comfortable with that situation in the long run, especially once I realized he was seeing 2 other women and lying to me about it. Okay, so he wasn't being upfront and honest with you, but, I mean, you guys were technically split up, but, you know, he didn't necessarily owe you the truth if you were in a relationship, but, you know, what's the point of pursuing a relationship with you again if, you know, he's just going to lie to you? Once I told him it was not a good situation, he all of a sudden decided I was not what he wanted and it was never going to work between us. If it wasn't his way, there was nothing. Within 24 hours of that conversation, he had a new girlfriend. See, look at all these things playing out here. It's never going to work out, and now he's got a new girlfriend. We're going to call her Bambi. I was devastated. All this took place in the 3 months following our initial breakup. Despite the fact we had continued to see one another, and he had spent the night with me one day prior to being in a relationship with her, he was convinced he was in love with Bambi. Well, I don't know if Bambi is as kind and sweet as in the movie. I'm guessing friendly, but maybe not as quite as lovable as that other Bambi. The next 4 months were a roller coaster of emotions. I went no contact after he started seeing Bambi for about a month. One night I had too many drinks and wrote the dreaded handwritten letter. I told myself it was the only way to get closure and I would feel so much better after I sent it. Wrong. She put that in bold with an exclamation point. Wouldn't you know it, he wrote me back and continued to send emails back and forth with me for the next month. Until Bambi discovered it and things got nasty. So look at how bad this situation is getting. A lot of people would say, this is hopeless, right? He's got a new girlfriend. He's saying, I'm never going to date you again. Now we've got a girlfriend and her fighting. Mother's saying, don't ever date her again. Daughter's got mental health issues. It's all just piling on. After several nasty exchanges, I finally told him to leave me alone forever and changed my email. That was it. I knew it was time to do something different because I didn't want to keep hurting. That's when I went to YouTube. I was already watching your videos, but I started to pay closer attention to what you were saying. I would sit outside for hours and listen to them. I even created a Coach Craig notebook. And this is exactly why I did workbooks. I have talked with so many people over the past few years that were doing notebooks. Well, instead of doing a notebook on your own, I guided you with the videos that I thought were absolutely critical for personal growth and gave you questions to think about. So instead of you trying to figure out what was important here and there taking notes, I'm guiding you through it. And that's why I did workbooks. Because you sit down and not only do you get the information that you would have gotten in the video, but now I have all these questions that cause you to do critical thinking. And that causes you to grow. And when you sit down and you write them out, and you can actually write on the workbooks. If you didn't know that, you can actually fill in the blanks on the workbooks. It's going to help you remember things, incorporating things, and keep that personal growth, not just, like a regular book where you forget 95% of it. Causes you to use different parts of your brain when you have to do stuff like that, right? Okay. Little by little, I started to notice a change in myself. I learned to deal with my anxiety and was finally able to make sense of the whole situation. I was finally able to empathize with him and see his point of view a little bit better, and narrow down why I was so unbelievably tortured by this whole mess. In the process, I realized that the information you shared doesn't apply just to romantic relationships, but to all relationships. That is absolutely true. And I know you guys are first and foremost here for trying to get an ex back. At least most of you guys. Some of you guys have gone beyond that and said, you know what? Regardless of my ex, I'm focused on myself. And that's where I want you to get. But yes, the information that I teach you guys will help you with all relationships, friendships, family members, your bosses, your co-workers. It's going to help with it all. I started to apply the communication technique to my daughter as well, and holy cow, it made a huge, another bold word there, impact. She and I connect on a level I cannot even describe. In the last year, she has made a complete turnaround. Thanks to meds, a good psychologist, and Coach Craig teaching her mother how to deal with her anxiety and effectively communicate with her. So, the end of my story is a happy one. Once Bambi and he broke up, a month and a half later, we reconnected on a dating site. I wasn't hurting anymore. I had made peace with it all and accepted the breakup for what it is. I had moved forward and started to enjoy life again. He actually was still at square one. He initiated the first hangout and every other one after that. Fast forward almost a year, and after many all-night talks and apologies on both sides, here we are, engaged to be married, and that is in a little bit more than a month. I know this is long, and I apologize, but I had to share this. I did it all. Tons of messages, fighting with the new girlfriend, getting blocked and unblocked, changed phone numbers, took bad advice from family and shady YouTube relationship coaches. I was the queen of Facebook stalking until I found Coach Craig and Margaret, the two angels I never met who saved me. Wow, that's really sweet of you to say. It does turn around sometimes, but you have to stay focused. I will continue to work on my relationships because I know there are no fairy tale endings. Much love to you and Margaret. So that's so awesome, and I'm so happy for her and him. And I love seeing success stories like this. And whatever your success story may be, I want to hear it. Margaret wants to hear it. Not all of them make it into the videos, of course, but I do share them with Margaret, and I do email them to her, and she does read them over with me. We can't get to everything because we have so much content that we're trying to share with you guys. But if you make personal growth a priority in your life, you're going to have a success story. At some point in time, things will turn around and they will get better, and you'll feel better. And that's one of the hardest parts about a breakup, is how you feel, and feeling like there's no hope. And you can bet that for many, many of these months, she felt like there was no hope. And for many of those months, there was no hope. It wasn't going to turn around then and there, but it did. Now they're engaged. They're going to be married in a month. It's incredible. You can have that kind of transformation in your life. It may not be with your ex. I can't predict that. All I can do is try and help you and guide you and coach you the best that I can for whatever opportunities come your way. But if you keep learning the stuff that I teach, somebody out there is going to be blown away by who you are and so excited to have you as part of their life. And we're going to keep you focused on getting there, but you have to keep yourself focused too. So when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net, sign up for the coaching options that work best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is also available for Skype coaching. She's outstanding, over 35 years of professional experience and one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life, that's for sure. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and yes, I am using a new camera, and that is why the video quality may look better. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon. I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different, and every breakup is different. Work with me, and you'll get professional help on your situation. Just click on the link in the description below, or go to my website, askcraig.net.